Saudi on Sporting Icons.
All right, everybody, hope you're all doing fantastic. So it's the first of the month, so pinch punch and all that kind of good stuff. The WBA have released their new rankings, of course, when we're talking about their heavyweight division. No great changes this month, but there are some that may or may not be important going forward. Anyway, I'll go through the top 15 as I always do. I'll point out the changes, what fights recently happened, what fights are coming up, all that kind of good stuff, give you an overall view of my thoughts of the WBA rankings in the heavyweight division. So make sure you are subscribed, dude, right now. You're a boxing fan, correct? Get to it. Okay, so Oleksandr Usyk is the WBA super champion. Daniel Dubois is the WBA regular world heavyweight champion. Number 1 is Michael Hunter. Number 2, Martin Bakole. Number 3, Deontay Wilder. Number 4, Anthony Joshua. Number 5, Arslanbek Makhmudov. Number 6, Lenny Aparo. Number 7, Luis Ortiz. Number 8, Zhan Kosabuski. Number 9, Trevor Bryan. Number 10, Lucas Brown. Number 11, Ajit Kabiel. Number 12, Kevin Lerena. Number 13, Jonathan Guidry. Number 14, Big Baby Jarrell Miller. And number 15, Ivan Dajko. So that's the top 15 for the month of December. So we close out the year for the WBA. These are the rankings. Unless, of course, I make some last-minute changes over the next couple of days, which you never know, sometimes they do. Anyway, as far as the top 15 is concerned, there's no real changes as far as a 15, because they're all the same. Nobody's been dropped from the top 15, no new additions, but a couple of change-arounds have happened, even though they haven't had fights, which is kind of weird. For example, we can talk number 2, Martin Bakole. Martin Bakole was number 3 last month. Deontay Wilder was number 2. Neither one of them's had a fight, so quite why they changed around, only the WBA know the answer to that one. I really don't know. But Martin Bakole, ever since he defeated Tony Yoka, which was a great win, his profile was on the way up because of that win. He's been very inactive since. I'll say inactive, he hasn't had a fight. I thought that they may want to capitalise on it, but they haven't. For reasons only they will know. Maybe they've tried to get certain fights, but promoters are not willing to work with them, as in Martin Bakole, Billy Nelson and that. I don't know. All we can do is speculate, but I'd like to see Martin Bakole out ASAP. In fact, he should have already had a fight since the Tony Yoka fight to help increase that profile over that win, that's for sure. Number 13, Kevin Lerena, South African fighter. He's pretty much a career cruiserweight, but now he's got an opportunity against Daniel Dubois this weekend on the Tyson Fury Derek Chisora Part 3 undercard as a chief support. So Daniel Dubois, WBA regular champion, taking on Kevin Lerena. It's a voluntary defence, of course. It's going to be interesting to see what Kevin Lerena brings, but I've got a feeling he's a little bit too small. Even though Daniel Dubois, he has slimmed down, going by the pad work that he done, was it yesterday or the day before, he does look noticeably slimmer than what he would normally do. But I think we're going to have to favour Daniel Dubois. Of course, you never know in the heavyweight division, even though Kevin Lerena is pretty much a career cruiserweight, but you never know. You never know, but I'm heavily favouring Daniel Dubois to get the win by knockout. I am. Other changes. Trevor Bryan, he was number 7 last month. Now he's number 9. Personally, he shouldn't be in the top 15 anyway. But we know why he is. He's a Don King fighter, right? That's what they do. Much like Jonathan Guidry at number 13. Don King fighters. But Zhan Kosabuski, he did get a win a couple of weeks ago, so I can understand him jumping above Trevor Bryan for sure. Luis Ortiz, he hasn't had a fight. Last time he had a fight was Andy Ruiz Jr. and he lost, so quite why they've made those changes, I have no idea. I'm sure Don King will be onto the WBA kicking and screaming about it, that's for sure. Number 5, Arslanbek Makhmudov. He does have a fight coming up. There was a change to the opponent. I forgot the name of the opponent that he's going to be fighting, and it's going to be in Canada as well. So Arslanbek Makhmudov is a good fighter. I'd like to see him take on Joe Joyce or Martin Bakole, someone like that. I would. Can they do it? Is that something that Top Rank would be interested in? Maybe. Why not? Why not? Makhmudov versus Martin Bakole. I'd like to see that fight. Any reason why not? I can't see it. Number 4, Anthony Joshua. We're still waiting for him to announce an opponent. We don't know who he's fighting. We hear that it could be March/April now. We know that he's going to be working with Roy Jones Jr., or at least potentially working with Roy Jones Jr., depending on how their link-up is concerned. Maybe he's going to go back to Rob McCracken. You never know. You never know. Or maybe continue with Robert Garcia as per the last fight. But it's going to be interesting to see who he's going to be fighting next. It does appear that the favourite will be Dillian White, but you never know. You never know. Maybe they're keeping tabs on what happens with the Filip Hrgovic and IBF situation. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Number 1, Michael Hunter. He hasn't had a fight. Of course, he was supposed to have a fight with Hughie Fury. Hughie Fury's got the long-term effects of COVID, so he hasn't been able to train properly and everything. So on 2 occasions, that fight got pulled. Michael Hunter is a top-ranked fighter now, I believe. So again, maybe Michael Hunter get a rematch with Mark Bacoli, or Michael Hunter take on a Makhmudov. Again, in-house fight for that one. Be interested to see what happens with Michael Hunter next. Maybe Michael Hunter could take on Jared Anderson. Again, in-house fight, right? Why not? I'm just putting the kind of fights out there that maybe could happen. Number 10, Lucas Brown. Is he a top 10? No, but he did get a good win, of course, over Junior Farr not so long ago. He was offered the Dan Dubois fight, but the British Box Board of Control turned that fight down. They refused to commission it for whatever reason. Apparently it's because he was too old, so we're hearing. So now Lucas Brown is going to be taking on Manuel Char. That's going to be soon. That's a fight that was supposed to have happened, 3-4 years ago, when just after Lucas Brown, he won the WBA regular World Heavyweight Championship after defeating, forgot his name now, Ruslan Chagaev, my bad. Okay, so Chagaev, when he defeated him, which was quite a good fight, really. Then, of course, they had the whole PD situation. He got stripped of the belt, then he got the belt back, and then he didn't, and it was very, very messy. So an opponent for him was meant to be Manuel Char. Then they created that WBA tournament, and with Shannon Briggs meant to be in it, and he popped dirty, and all these kind of things. Very, very bizarre times. But either way, now they're going to be fighting. Who would you favour in that fight? To be honest with you, probably maybe just edge it with Manuel Char, but not by much, because I really don't rate Manuel Char, which is why I was so against Tyson Fury fighting Manuel Char. But either way, them two are going to be fighting in due course. Other than that, I'm not really too sure if any other fights are penciled in. As of right now, I haven't seen it, other than what I've just briefly mentioned. So anyway, that is a new ranking for the WBA to end the year of 2022. Good, bad? I'll be edging towards the bad, of course. I mean, when you're having people like Lucas Brown in there, a Lenier Perro who's only had 6 or 7 fights, and all these kind of ones, is absolutely ridiculous. Trevor Bryan in there is mad. So overall, WBA, you've had a piss poor year when it comes to the rankings. Are you going to change, turn a new leaf in 2023, or are you going to continue to be biased, corrupt, or incompetent? Which one is it? You decide. Probably not. Whichever thoughts below, click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.